Hi, it's Krista.
Krista's Play.
Let's play. I am so thankful that you came today to play because you are so special. And when you come, you bring your whole you. And that is what makes this play so much fun. So are you ready to work hard and to play hard? Let's go! Today, I wanted to play author. Do you know what an author is? It's someone who writes books. So now that I put all of my things down, I'm going to look at all of these things and touch them because I want to think about how I'm going to use these materials to be an author. How am I going to write a book? I have an idea for all these things and how I'm going to be an author and write my book. But first, I need to make space. My workspace is just too cluttered. There's too many things on this table. In order to be an author, you have to write a book. But sometimes people write books about pretend things and real things and people and places and on and on and on. But today I want to write a pretend book, a fiction book, and I would like it to be about an animal. And so I'm going to start by making some of the materials, things that the animal's going to do when I write my book. So what I'm going to do first is make my animal. I'm thinking about how I'm going to make my animal. I have a lot of baskets that I can use. I have loofahs and scrubbies. So many ideas. Did you see what I did? I put 2 straws sticking out, and I kind of weaved them under this plate. harder for them to stick. It's not really working like I want it to work. I'm getting a little frustrated about this because in my head it worked really well. And now I want them to stand straight up. And you can see they're not standing straight up. See? They're going to the side. It's making me very frustrated. So what I'm going to do is I'm just going to take a breath. Because sometimes when we're playing, right, we have to work and play hard. And this is hard. But I need to calm my body down and get in control. I think I'm going to take a breath. I think I'm going to take a breath in for 5 and then let it out for 5. I also closed my eyes because that made me feel like I had a little more control. And I wasn't touching anything, so it really made me feel like I can try again. You know what I made? I made a little snail. This is its head and this is its body. These are the antennas. That's what I was having so much trouble getting to stand up. But I got them to stand up because I kept at it. It was hard. I wanted to stop playing. But just because I was feeling angry. But once I took my breaths and I got under control, I could figure out how to make it work the way I needed it to. And it was hard work. But now I'm feeling very proud of myself. And this is going to be the character of the book that I'm writing. I'm trying to think of a name for the snail. I can't think of anything I like right now. So I'm just going to put it to the side and keep thinking about it. I think I want to think about what I would write in my book and how I want Snail's story to go. And I think what I want to do as I'm thinking about my story and being an author, I want Snail to go find a castle. I'm going to pretend that this is a castle and Snail wants to find the castle. Now, for Snail to get to the castle, I want them to have a big adventure. So I'm going to think about how I'm going to use my materials to have Snail go through the adventures to get to the castle. Now that I have my character and what I want them to do, my character's the snail, and I want them in my story to go to the castle. But I need these adventures because I want to write about them in my book. I want for Snail to go through water. And I have straws that I want to use and pretend that they're water. So that's one adventure I want Snail to have. Another adventure, I would like Snail to go through the big stone forest. And in this big stone forest, it has trees. And cups are going to be my trees. And the rocks and the stones are going to be the rocks and the stones in the big stone forest or the big rock forest. I have green cups. I like them. I want to give them white tops. And since I'm the author and I'm writing this story, I can pretend and be very silly about it. I have my river and I have my stone forest with trees. I'm going to put this piece of fabric down. This piece of fabric is going to be the cold snow. So I have the cold snow. This is going to be an adventure. I added this nice ribbon to I added this nice ribbon to my snow adventure. And then this I would like to be Flower Mountain because I have all these bright colors. And this pattern here reminds me of flowers. So I'm going to wrap Flower Mountain I feel good about the story. I'm now ready to tell my story. Once there was a very special snail. And I don't think I want to name him. I think I just want to say snail. So once there was a snail, and it really wanted to go visit a castle. So it had to go through a lot of adventures and a whole journey to get to the castle. First, it had to go over the snow. Then it had to swim and float through the water. Then it had to find a way to go through all the rocks and the trees in the wilderness and the forest. Lastly, it had to climb up the most beautiful flower mountain you've ever seen. After Snail climbed the flower mountain, they were able to reach the castle. The end. I really like this story. It is a very good pretend fiction story. Now, I want to write it down. But I don't have a pen or paper or a fresh book or a computer or anything to write it. I'm going to have to pretend. Now it is time for me to write my story. And I came up with a great idea. I'm going to make a computer. So I am going to use this milk carton. Maybe I'll use this. No, I have an idea. Maybe I'll use this. No, I have an idea. This is going to be my computer. These are the keys. And this is the screen. And so, see if I can put it right here. I am writing the story that I wrote on my computer with my keyboard, and I'm reading it on my screen. It's just pretending. Is about the snail going through his adventures it takes a long time to write a book sometimes, so might be taking a little bit longer. This part's so funny. This is a really good part. Oh, this part's a little a little quiet. I have to be very quiet. I don't want to forget any of the parts, so I'm writing them down. The end. So this is my computer story. But now I also want to write with my hand with like a pen or a pencil, but I don't have a pen or a pencil and I don't have any paper. I'm going to pretend that I'm writing it down on a piece of paper. And I'm going to pretend like this is one of my pens. You ready? I'm ready. First, there was snow. And then there was water. And next, trees. And big, big rocks. And then the beautiful Flower Mountain. And then the snail got to the most beautiful and elegant castle. The end. Written by Krista. That's me. I'm the author. I'm going to take this and put another trait on it. So I can now read my book just like a book you might get at the library or off a bookshelf. I think I'll write with a different pen or pencil the story of Snail by Krista. And I'll put that in the cover. So whenever I want to read my story, I can just open it up. That's the good part I wrote down. That was funny. Oh, I love it. I love pretending like I'm an author. And I love coming up with different stories. And I loved writing. I had a chance to do it with a computer and a written book. But now I have to go. So we gotta clean up, clean up, clean up, clean up. I'm very proud of how Snail was built. But I want to use these materials again soon. So I'm going to have to take it apart, but it's okay because now I know if I want to play with Snail again, how to put the snail back together. Do you know today when you were playing that you narrated a book? That means that you told the story out loud. And do you also know that you were envisioning a pretend story? One that we could write down and compose. Put it all together, maybe write it down with our pretend pencil, pen, and paper, or tippity tap it out on our computer. Thank you so much for coming to play with me. I had a wonderful time being an author with you. I'll see you next time. Goodbye.
Krista's Play.